No, we not. Bitch. Oh my god. Ha! If I told you how long it just took for me to set this camera up and it's still fucked up. I think this is good. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I probably should have started, hold on, let me show y'all. I got like inches now. Yeah, get into it. And I cut my hair. It was like down to here. Okay, that was an exaggeration. It was like down to here. Hold on, let me play with this lighting just a little bit. Focus on me. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. First of all, this is the game plan. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna do my makeup like old times. I haven't done my makeup in literally forever. And we're gonna talk, because here's the thing. Y'all know how I am. The last video I made, I was in a very bad place. I had just called off my engagement. That was a long time ago. So we have a lot to catch up on. So what I'm gonna do is, as I'm getting ready to go nowhere, by the way, I'm gonna just catch you guys up on where I've been, what I've been doing, what has gone on in my life, because pretty much for the past year and a half, my life has been a complete movie. And now I'm here. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but I have a camera. No more iPhone. We've upgraded. I have a camera. And I still don't like how zoomed in it looks, but I don't know how to camera. I don't know how to do this. This is new. So we're just, I don't know. We're going to figure it out together. Okay, y'all. So I think this might be the best it's going to get for right now. So y'all are going to have to bear with me, because this is my first video. This is my first video with an actual camera. So first thing, let's start with this. The last time I made a YouTube video doing my makeup, I have very oily skin. And boy, have times changed. I've spoke a lot about this on TikTok, because if y'all didn't know, I haven't been on YouTube, but I've been on TikTok. And I've talked about this journey on TikTok a little bit, but I have really bad plaque psoriasis. It may not show up on the camera, and I also just prep my skin, so it's not giving really on everything I love. This is just not going well. If I showed y'all my setup right now, you would be like, yeah, that's why. But listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, I think we're ready now. No, we not. Bitch, oh my god. Ha! You know what? This is what we finna do. I'm about to just take all my makeup out. All of it. I recently literally just bought like a full face of Rare Beauty, because we're Team Selena out here, okay? I've been wanting to try her products for a long time. And they just seem like really dewy and natural, which is good, because since my skin type has now changed to Sahara Desert, I need moisturizing products. Y'all remember, like way back in the day, I was using matte everything. And now I can't use matte nothing. No matte lipstick, no nothing. I don't even know where to start. Who, babe? I don't know if I'm built for this. Let me take, hold on. Spray a little perfume. Get the vibe set. Right now, my two favorite perfumes are this one. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Valentino something. Just look at the bottle, okay? And then this other one is by Glossier. I don't fucking know. They were both overpriced. But one thing about me that has not changed, I like to spend money. So anyways, woosah, let's get it together. I'm gonna start diving in with the makeup. I'm gonna try and remember to like tell you guys what I'm using, but I'm also going to pretty much start with my life story since the last video. Okay, so buckle up, because this is probably gonna be a long video. But y'all keep asking me to come back, so I'm here. I'm here to give the people what they've been asking for. First things first, I'm gonna go in with, ooh, child. I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty Hello, should I be like a makeup girly now? The Rare Beauty hydrating primer. I don't know what it's called, but that's what I'm gonna go in with. It is the illuminating one because, like I said, your girl has some crusty skin, and I'm gonna be like fully transparent with y'all. I don't think this really works how it should, but it is what it is. So anyway, so since the last video, I'm pretty sure in that video I made promises that I definitely did not keep. I told you I was coming back, but then like shit got hard because I literally made that video a day after I called off my engagement. And let's just dive into that really quickly because I don't even want to touch on that for real, but let's get into it because I know y'all want to know. So yes, me and my ex have been together for like 2 years, I think, a year and a half. And not only was that my first serious relationship, but it was my first relationship, period. And I was very much a like one and done kind of gal. I was like the first man I meet. What does that mean? Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I just switched to my phone because my camera, I don't even understand that shit. So back to what I know. Where were we? I think the last place we left off was my ex. So anyways, it was my first serious relationship, right? And it was really good at first, I think. And then things just went wrong. It was like once we really had to like buckle down and like be adults for real, he wasn't really with that grind, and he just kind of wanted to like not be responsible. And like we were getting married, we were trying to move out because we were living here like in my parents' house, which that was a mistake. We wanted to find a place to live, and I don't know if y'all know this or not, but being an adult is fucking expensive. And not only are we trying to get married, but we're also trying to buy a house, and or not necessarily a house, but we were looking for someone to or somewhere to live on our own. And that's not a cheap process. And it was like once we really had to like start making sacrifices financially, and we couldn't, you know, be doing what we really wanted to do for real, that's when like things went wrong. Because I was still going to school full time. I was online, but I was still going to school full time, and I was working a full-time job, and he didn't have no responsibilities besides working. And yet we were still working like the same hours, which like I had a problem with because or no, he was working less than me actually. And I had a problem with that because I'm like, how are you like, how am I doing just as much as you and I'm still in school? Like, to me, I feel like he should have been pulling a little bit more weight, because I was starting to get really burdened and like stressed out, and there was just so much, and I really felt like I was a babysitter more than I was a girlfriend, and I felt like I was taking care of him. And me personally, that don't work for me. That don't work for me. I'm very independent, as much as I can be. I mean, I'm not gonna front. I still, you know, thankfully, which we're gonna find out, I still have, you know, a lot of help from my parents, and I definitely could not be doing what I'm doing now if it weren't for my parents. I mean, I'm literally living back at home, so I have help, but girl, I pay my own bills. I definitely spend way too much money than I should. And yeah, so I mean, anyways, I don't want to dive too deep into this shit because we've got years to cover, like literally like 2 years. So yeah, shit just went wrong, and it got to the point where I literally felt like I was babysitting and having to do everything for him, and that just wasn't working for me. And it's crazy because I already knew I wasn't happy when he proposed. But oh, by the way, I just used these BB creams or like tinted moisturizers. I mixed the one from Rare Beauty and the Fenty Beauty one because I love this one. However, it doesn't give me like the coverage that I want, and this one for a tinted moisturizer actually has a lot of coverage. Now I'm going in with a couple different Rare Beauty concealers because I buy my shit online, so I never get the right shade. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just mixing. But any freaking ways, bro, when he proposed, I already knew I wasn't happy. But keep in mind, this is my first relationship, and it was serious. I mean, like, we had already been talking about marriage. We obviously were talking about getting a place together. We were living together. Like, we had been, you know, together for what felt like a minute. Now, in hindsight, I realize a year and a half is really not a lot of time. And it was COVID. So it was most definitely a COVID relationship. And just, there were so many aspects that I think played a role in the nature of our relationship. And when he proposed, I knew I wasn't happy, but also, like, what was I gonna do? Say no? Like, I'm sure there are some of y'all that are like, duh, but I don't know. I didn't have, I guess, the strength to do that. And so we got engaged on Christmas Eve, and then, like, I don't know what, I mean, things had already been gone. Things already went wrong. I mean, if I'm being honest. But then in March, I think it was like the beginning of March or the end of February, me, my mom, my brother, and him, we all went to Florida. And it was a really fun trip. I had a good time. And keep in mind, he said he was gonna propose to me at Disney World. That was what the plan was supposed to be. But he told me that he was gonna do it. So I'm like, you can't do that now because I know it's coming. Like, that's not how that's supposed to work. And I was like, I was so upset because I'm like, that really could have been, you know, a magical moment. And then he, like, I don't know what this man was thinking. But anyways, we had a good trip. We came home, and then boom, like literally within a week or two, he was gone. Like, we got into a argument, which I don't think it was even like that serious, but we got in an argument about something, and we went to bed angry at each other, and then we woke up that next morning and we were still like not kind of talking. We were both kind of still upset about whatever we had been arguing with about, which I don't even know what the fuck it was. And I was getting ready for work because, like I said, I was working full time. I had to be up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and he was like already up and ready to go. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird because he was not a morning person. And he was like, we need to talk. Now, let me tell y'all something crazy. When he said that, I already knew what was about to happen. But I didn't want to believe it, because when people say love makes you do stupid things, that's real. Because as soon as I exited that relationship and I took time to reflect on what that relationship was, I was like, bitch, why the fuck did you allow that to happen? This looks crazy right now, but trust, it'll come together. But, you know, I knew as soon as he said that in his tone, like, I knew what was about to go down. But I still, like, there was part of me that didn't want to believe it, because I'm like, we're engaged, we're locked in for life. You know, even though I knew I wasn't happy, I still love this person. And one thing about me, a Taurus, I'm loyal to a fault. And when I'm really, like, down for somebody, I'm down for them. So I was literally willing to give my whole life up and be in this, like, unhappy, just toxic relationship for the rest of my life, simply because I loved him. And again, when people say love sometimes is not enough, that shit is fucking true. That shit is fucking true. You hear stuff like that and you're like, that's fucking stupid, cliche. But no, baby, once you live it, you realize that shit is real. And so, long story short, he was like, I'm not happy anymore, and like, we gotta go. And man, this is one thing about it. I hate how social media has really ruined, I don't even know how to explain it, but I feel like everybody is like, oh, fuck your ex, like, on to the next. We're not crying over these dudes. No, I was shattered. Like, I felt like a shell of a human. I didn't even know who the fuck I was, because this is the thing. I was so deep into this relationship that I feel like I took on his identity. Like, I had lost touch with everything that I ever loved. And kind of just like, I turned into him, bro. Like, I had the same hobbies as him. And it wasn't even stuff that I like doing for real, but he liked to do it. And I wanted to like what he liked. So I like morphed into this person who I didn't even recognize. And I don't think I would have known that until the relationship ended, because I didn't recognize it. I didn't see the signs. Or I did, and I just kind of ignored them. And so when all of this happened, even though I saw it coming, and I was absolutely heartbroken, as soon as he said those words, like, I'm not happy, I knew the direction the conversation was going. And I can't even tell y'all, it felt like there was a weight, a heavy, heavy weight lifted off my shoulders, because I'm like, oh, finally I can breathe. And then that's kind of when it hit me, not me about to get emotional. It was just like, God, it was like I almost tapped into myself immediately, and it was like I woke up and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck have you been doing for the past 2 years? And long story short, let me wrap this up, because I don't want to get into this. Maybe we can in another video, but I'm already like 15 minutes in and I'm still talking about this man. But I just like, I really tapped back in. And so, you know, I made that video. That's kind of where we left off. And I was so happy when I made that video, because I'm like, bitch, I haven't sat down and made a YouTube video. And I think at that point it was still years since I had made my last YouTube video. And I was listening to music that I like to listen to again. And just like the small things, you know. But it, like, again, it was just like food for the soul, because I'm like, God, I can breathe. I'm free from the shackles of whatever the fuck that relationship was. And so I made that little video thinking shit was cute. You know, the day before, like the day that it happened, he literally had told me this at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he was gone by 4 o'clock that night, because again, he ain't had no fucking money. The man was broke. I mean, in reality, we were both broke. But he couldn't afford to get himself a ticket home. And my stepdad, God bless his heart, was like, you're not about to stay here and like put her through this situation while also still living here. So he bought him a plane ticket home, took him up to the airport in Minneapolis, and he was gone by that night. And I was just shattered. And oh man, every time I think about like that day, I'll never forget that day. I just like, I lost it. I really lost it. Like, I don't think I hope I never put myself in that situation again, because I could not sleep. I could not eat. I could not breathe. It wasn't, not only did I lose who I thought was my soulmate and like my, you know, my partner, but I lost my best friend, because regardless of what our relationship was, we were best friends. And that alone is hard to lose. Not me getting emotional, because listen, y'all, even though I would never ever, like, I don't miss him, I don't miss our relationship, I just miss well, maybe I do miss him in ways, but not like in a way that I would want to get back with him. But I just kind of miss shit, I can't even fucking explain it, because I'm sitting here saying like I miss the way he used to make me feel, but I don't. Like, we treated each other like garbage, and I don't ever want to paint him as the bad guy. In many ways he was, but I guess I just don't want to act like I was a saint in this situation, because I definitely added to the toxicity of our relationship. But like, I don't know how to explain it, guys. You don't know what it's like until you're really in that position. And it was hard. So hold on, because I'm about to go in with I think it's in here, matter of fact. Yeah, so this is the key to having dry skin, right? Jackie Aina taught me this tip. In order to really get your skin to melt, like the makeup to just melt into your face, you have to like setting spray almost after like every step, and it's gonna like blend each step together. And I did that last time. I did that for my birthday, and my shit looked real good. So I'm going in with the Rare Beauty Setting Mist. I think she has multiple, but I could be wrong. This shit smells so good. So yeah, anyways, he was gone. I completely lost it. Like I said, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. It was just such an outer body experience, because even on the nights where I could fall asleep, I would have dreams about him. So it's like I couldn't even escape. And my brother, again, bless his heart. And I mean, at that point, he was probably like 11, 12. And there was one night where I was like really, really bad. And he ended up falling asleep in my room with me because he didn't want to leave me alone. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just sobbing and I started having a panic attack. And this kid woke up out of his sleep and literally held me in his arms. Oh my God. I'm gonna get emotional and I'm trying to do my makeup. But I'm like, that kid does not know that my brother, man, I would take a bullet for that kid. And that night was the first time, because obviously we're 10 years apart. He's way younger than me. Hold on, I gotta get a tissue because doing my makeup was not a good idea, because I'm literally just gonna cry. He's young, right? But that was the first night where I'm like, this kid writes for me too, you know? And that shit, to this day, I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. I don't think he understands how much that meant to me. Can't, y'all. Fuck. I'm ruining my shit. So yeah, I mean, I love that kid to death. That's my ride or die. Oh, that was a lot. And yeah, and I don't know, like, there are still some days, that's the other thing. Social media will be like, you know, I feel like it's been made the norm to like get over your ex in a very short amount of time. And listen, y'all, I'm like 3 or 4 years out and I'm still healing. I'm still healing and I have no shame in that. Like, that shit broke me, like, as a person. And I'm still like, I think I'm at the phase now where I have to learn to forgive myself, because I get really mad that I allowed myself to be in that position. Because, I mean, just full transparency, I witnessed my mom have a lot of unhealthy relationships growing up as a child. And I didn't want that for myself. And the fact that I let myself get in that position, I was so mad at myself. And I'm like, how did I not see the signs? How did I not see the signs? Like, how did I let myself, and y'all know how I was always like the confident, like strong, you know, no man is good enough for me. Like, that was my energy. And then I got myself in that position and I'm just like, you dumb bitch. Like, how the fuck did you do this? And that just like goes to show that sometimes, like, the person that's the happiest in the room is the saddest inside, because y'all could see that whole relationship. I seemed so happy, but man, if y'all could see what was going on behind closed doors, you would have been like, girl. And the craziest part, another thing I'll never remember, or I'll never forget, is the day that I made that YouTube video. I'm not gonna disclose who it was, because I'm just not gonna say who it was, but I had an old teacher of mine, we'll just say that, reach out to me. And she said that she had watched my video and she apologized. And she was like, Kaylee, I'm so sorry that I didn't recognize the signs. Because she was like, you have always been, you know, a very bubbly person. You've always shared your life online, because at that point I really was. And, you know, been very vocal on social media. And then she's like, it just stopped. And I should have checked in. And I'm just like, it was just so crazy to me how someone could recognize that, especially someone who I have on social media, but it wasn't like we talked regularly, or, you know, so it was just really crazy. And again, another teacher I met up with, you know, she said, She was like, I never thought he was right for you. And so many people came to me afterwards and was saying shit like that. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that when I was in the relationship? Because I needed that reassurance. Like, I needed that strength. I needed someone to help me find my own strength, because I knew. That's the crazy part. Like, I knew, but I couldn't bring myself to walk away from that. I didn't think I could survive without that, even though when I was like 21, 22, and it was like, I have my whole life ahead of me, but for whatever reason, I felt like I was stuck. I was down. There was no turning back. So yeah, anyways, it was a very long I'm still on my healing journey, like I said. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So after that, I'm trying to think. So my friend Bree came to Cedar Falls for my birthday, and we kind of had like a girls' weekend, and that was very rejuvenating, because that was only like a month after he had left. And so the emotions were still very much raw and real, and it was just nice to have a friend. And shouts out to Bree, because that girl held me down. Between Bree, Sophia, my mom, my stepdad, my brother, those are like, I would not have survived that without them, literally. That's how bad it got. So shouts out to them. But Bree really held it down. I think, like, literally we talked every single day for like 4 months straight, because I could not make it through the day without someone. And you know, I can only say so much to my family. I need to get a little bit closer to the mirror for this. Talking to family is one thing, but like, I didn't want to explain in great detail the contents of, like, I didn't want to have to tell my mom all my personal business, like, even though we lived in the same house, and she was still very much, I mean, you can only hide so much about your relationship when you share a space with someone, but I didn't need her to know all the, I don't know, there are just some things that you, like, don't talk to your mom about, which is strange coming from me, because I do, like, literally tell my mom everything. I tell her probably more than I should, but Bree was that support that I needed. So, shouts out to her. Shouts out to Sophia. I think me and Bree, well, we're all, like, me and Bree, and me and Sophia are still very close to this day. They're my besties for the resties. And I think me and Bree weren't even, like, we were friends, but we weren't that close. But she, like, I think through that experience, her and I got really, really close, which is just another sign that everything happens on God's timing. And me and Bree were really good friends, but I think that situation, unfortunate as it was, made our friendship rock solid. Because, again, it made it rock solid because, to me, again, as a Taurus, it showed me that this person is down for me. Like, they're holding me down right now, and I'll never look back, because that right there, I'll never forget that. Because if you're there for me, I'll be there for you for anything. If I can see, because like I said, I'm so loyal to people, but I also tend to have my guard up sometimes. Ain't no way you're snoring that deep. I tend to have my guard up sometimes. And when I saw just how she was there for me every single day, while I just was looking so pathetic and like crying over a man that did not deserve tears, for real, I'll never forget that. So I'm gonna move on now. 23 minutes in. I'm gonna have to edit this. I really didn't want to. Maybe I won't. I don't know. So then that happened. I had my little girls trip, or birthday weekend with Bree when she came. Damn, this bitch kind of dark. This one eats, but why did I draw this in so dark? I think it's just my mole that's right there. It's not really doing. And my hair is super thick. That's gonna bother me. I gotta make this one dark. And then for Bree's birthday, in July, we went to Minneapolis. I had like a 3 or 4 day trip up there. And that, like, that reset my soul, I think, a little bit. It was like a really good reset, and it reminded me of who the fuck I was, because I got cute. That's another thing. Like, I could be financially free again. I know that sounds so stupid, but like, when you're in a relationship, you have to start building something together. And like I said, I do like my independence. And now that I know, like, my next relationship, I don't want to have to do that. Like, I want us to have our own shit. We can still be together in many ways, but I want us to have our own shit. I will never put myself in a position again where I would not be able to survive without their financial contributions, if that makes sense. Because that was very much the case. But like, I could finally buy shit that I wanted to buy. I could, hold on, I need to look up here for this. I could go on trips. I really started to get into purses when I first got out of the relationship, like designer purses. And so I was spending a lot of money on that. And some of them I still have, but some of them I sold, because I think that was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what that was actually. I think I just wanted a reason to spend money, and I missed spending money. And so I kind of like, I did go kind of crazy when we first got out of the relationship. And truth be told, look, I ain't lost it. That MUA life is still inside of me. But yeah, anyways, let's get off this topic. That whole trip rejuvenated me. And now, fast forward, I realized now that I was not in a relationship that I could participate in Wartburg's, it's their Wartburg West program, which is basically where, hold on, I gotta start back here, where they line up internships in Denver, Colorado. And I was really excited because I had been planning to do that, and then COVID happened, and they were like, well, you can still do it, but you're more than likely gonna be doing an internship, like, virtually. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is the point of spending all this money to go to Denver just to be in the house? And I'm so thankful I did that, because that was like before COVID had like really got bad for real. And seeing how bad it got, like, I would have been out there like stranded, like dead ass. I wouldn't have been able to be doing like anything, and the experience just wouldn't have been what it was. And so now this time around, I was like, now I can go. I'm not tied down with the financial responsibilities I had of like saving for a house and saving for a wedding. And okay, sorry, my angle might have just changed. My phone said I'm low on storage. So, Denver happened. I ended up going, in January of 2022. And I was out there for about a year. My internship was from January through February, and then I ended up just moving into an apartment and started working at a nonprofit. And I don't even know. I want to tell y'all what happened in Denver, but like, I don't know if I'm ready to get that real with y'all, because I swear to God, I almost got trafficked. I almost got killed. Like, listen, that shit was fucking crazy. It was crazy. I feel like I should get into it, because y'all want the tea, I'm gonna give y'all the tea. Let me just, but listen, this could be a whole video in itself. I gotta like choose priorities here. Maybe I'll make 2 different videos, because it was just nuts. Like, maybe I won't get into it, maybe someday, but I'll just give y'all the brief synopsis real quick. I went out to Denver from January, like for the actual internship part of it. I was out there with a couple other girls, and I had a suite mate. Technically, we weren't roommates. I had a suite mate, and she Shouts out to Rachel because she's the coolest person ever. And we got along really well. They literally put us in a room together because we were the only ones with emotional support animals, as my dog barks. And she had a cat. I had my girl T over here. And oh yeah, that's the other thing. I got a fucking dog. That happened in August. So we broke up in March. That happened in August because I'm like, what better time to get an emotional support animal? And baby, when I tell you, this dog has saved my life more than once. I'm not even kidding you. Like, shouts out to her because yeah, that's my homie. That's my girl. That's my baby. That's my daughter. So she was cool. We were living together. Of course, you know, when you get that many girls together, something's gonna pop off. So there was a little bit of drama here and there, but nothing like crazy. And then I knew like we had all started making plans to like live together because most of us wanted to like go back to Denver after we graduated. But I was in a unique situation because I went back for my 5th year pretty much just to do Wartburg West. It was free. So I'm like, why not go back for, you know, another year? I just called off the engagement. I had no idea what I wanted to do. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go back for another year to give myself more time to figure out what my next steps are. So, I was in a unique situation because Wartburg West was like my final class or whatever. So I was just planning to just stay out there. Whereas the other girls, they still had to go back and finish off the semester because they were seniors. So they still had to go finish the school year. So it wasn't like they could just move out there right away. Okay, what's next? Should I do eyeshadow? I'm just do something real subtle. And so I ended up staying out there. I literally had no plan. Like, I did not have... It would have been hard for me to get home at that time because if I remember correctly, I didn't have the money to get home because I had never planned to go home. My plan was to stay out there. But this was my first time like going out on my own and I just didn't know the process. So I didn't realize how expensive moving was. And I didn't know how long the process of finding an apartment was. I didn't know anything about that. And so when I tell y'all, it was literally like the last week of my internship. And like something just fell in my lap. And my roommate at the time, she was like, hey, there's this girl that's doing the same internship as I am with me. And her and her partner just broke up and she needs a roommate. And I was like, this is perfect. She lived in North Glen, which is about 20 miles north of Denver. So I was not going to be in the city, which was fine with me because look, cities are busy and I know I want to go back to a city, but it's a lot to adjust to. So I was kind of fine being in the suburbs. You know, I knew I was going to have to commute to work because where I was working was downtown. Well, I worked like half downtown, half in Aurora. And it took me a long ass time to get to work. That was a whole nother situation. So yeah, I ended up moving with this random girl. And it was cool at first. It was actually a really nice apartment. But her and I were two very different people. And we were still able to like obviously respect each other. And like things started off really well. And then I think she just got comfortable. Like once we had lived together for long enough, you know, she just got comfortable. And she was a very dirty person, and don't get me wrong, I am too, as you can see, but there's a difference between messy and dirty, and she was dirty. And it's one thing to do that shit in your own space, but at least have the common courtesy to like stay picked up in a shared space. And she didn't do that. And then literally just one day out of the blue, she was like, I'm moving out because I relapsed. I've been using this whole time and I need to go to a sober living house. I had no idea any of this was going on. I didn't even know she used. And I was just like, okay, like, yeah, you got to do you. But then inside I was like freaking out because I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? I can't afford this 2-bedroom apartment by myself because baby, for 2 months I had to pay $2,000 $200 a month for this 2-bedroom house because she just dipped and I couldn't find anyone to like move in right away. So for 2 months straight, I had paid $2,200 a month. Keep in mind, that's like, I think like one of my paychecks. Like that was my entire month's rent. Like that was everything. So while I'm out here broker than a fucking joke because I moved out there with like quite literally a couple hundred in my pocket. Shit, this is falling off. I didn't have the money for that, and I was not making the money to support living in this apartment. And y'all are gonna be like, oh my god, $2,200 a month. Like, I know your apartment was nice, and it was, but it wasn't that nice. Like, Denver housing is just ridiculous, and I need people to understand that Denver, as far as cost of living, is not that far off from LA. Like, I looked at apartments in LA and looked like I was moving to Denver. So Denver's fucking expensive, and I wasn't prepared for that. And y'all are gonna say, well, every city is expensive. Baby, go on apartments.com and look up apartments in Denver, Colorado. Okay, a house, again, I know it's a city, but what our house is like here in Charles City would go for millions out there. Hundreds, well, okay, maybe a million is a stretch, but hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. Never seen anything like it before. So that was cool. While this was all going on, let me tell y'all about the unprofessionalism I experienced at my internship. I internshiped at a place that worked with people that were coming out of prison, and it was like case management. We just kind of like provided them with resources to get them back on their feet. And I mean, it's a job of many, like there were a lot of things that we did, but that's kind of like the basic rundown. I really feel like I need to make this into a separate video, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, because that's just crazy. Maybe I will. Long story short, no, it's not even a long story short. It's just a long fucking story. So I'm going to make that in a separate video. So y'all better come back, because y'all are going to be like, what? This was going on? And some of y'all know, because some of the stuff I will put on my private Snapchat occasionally. Like, I would kind of give y'all updates. But, like, y'all don't know. No one knows except for Bree. Bree and Bree are the only ones that know like the real, like everything, because I was telling her like in real time everything that was going on, and my mom knows most of it but not a lot. Like there are still pieces of it that I have not told her, and I think Sophia knows some, but everyone else I've never told this story because it's just nuts. And also, like, I have some of these people on social media, so I don't want to like, I don't want to do too much. Maybe I'll just block them from being able to see the post, but I want to tell y'all because it's low-key. My shoot, I was living in a fucking movie. So come back, because my next video, I'll talk about my time in Denver. But anyway, so I moved into my apartment, and then as soon as she kind of moved out, I quickly realized that I could not afford to live there. I was able to find someone finally that could move in. And when she moved in, because remember I told y'all like my rent was so expensive, it was literally taking my entire income to pay for it. And so I got in so much debt out here. I'm about to just be so real with y'all. I got in so much debt out there because I couldn't afford, like I literally could not afford to live out there. And so I racked up a lot of debt that I'm gonna be paying off that shit for a minute. It was a lot. It was a lot. I'm just like, I feel like all those feelings are starting to come back, because on top of the shit that I was dealing with, which y'all are gonna find out, on top of the shit that I was dealing with, like professionally and personally, because it got to the point where they were connected, I also had like my own mental health shit going on, and I was so sad being away from home. My grandma was not in good health at the time. There was a lot of stuff going on in that aspect, and it was just so hard being like 15 hours away. And it was too much, y'all. It was too much. So one day I called my mom. I didn't have no money in the bank, like none. I probably had like 13 cents in my bank account. I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I'm coming home. I can't do this anymore. I literally wanted to myself. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to come home. And she was like, okay. And keep in mind, moving is expensive, especially when you're moving 15 hours away. You got to get a U-Haul. You got to find somebody to take over your lease. You have to, like, there's so much that goes into that shit. So keep in mind, I had $0 in my pocket, and this is how God works. I was like, I'm gonna be home by the end of the month, because this was like the beginning of August or September. I think it was the beginning of September. It was like the first week of September. I'm like, I'm gonna be home by the end of the month. I don't know how I'm gonna get the money to get home, but I'm gonna do it. God is amazing. That next week, I found somebody to take over my lease. When my roommate moved out, she left like some of the shit that was hers. She left patio furniture, all that stuff, sold that on Facebook. So I got money that way. And then once like the person had moved in, she moved in like halfway through the month, so she had given me money for half of the rent and her deposit, because I was moving out. So I'm not gonna explain that, y'all can figure it out. And long story short, I came up with $3,000 in a matter of 2 weeks. I put in my time at work. I let her know like right away. I wanted to give her more than 2 weeks because it was obviously very sudden. I don't think anyone was expecting me to leave. And so I let her know that I was out of there, and that's it. And then I came home. It was expensive, girl. Like, it was $1,200. Well, I'm not about to do all that, but just know by the time I got home, I got the U-Haul back to the place, and we had to put gas in it. And I think we had to put like $50 worth of gas. That was my last $50. I had just enough to get me home. And it was like, as soon as I pulled up into Charles City, I was so relieved. I was so relieved. I never thought those words would leave my mouth, because y'all know I don't fuck with Charles City like that for real. But I'm trying to change my mindset around that too. But I didn't want to, like, I felt like I failed. And I told my mom that too. I'm like, I went back and forth for a while. I'm like, am I making the right decision? Like, should I come home, or is this me just like caving in as soon as shit gets hard? Should I just like write this out and, you know, just figure out what to do? And I just came to the conclusion ultimately that even if financially I would have made a way through it, which I don't think I would have, but even if I had happened to find a way financially through the mess that I was in, emotionally and mentally, I would not have. So I know I made the right decision in coming home. But it still sucked in the moment, because I felt like I had failed. Like, my plan was to leave Charles City and never look back, and now here I am. And right now with where I'm at, I'm okay. I'm okay with the decision. I'm okay with being home. Look, I don't have to pay rent. There are just so many added expenses that I don't have to worry about right now. And I'm starting my master's program next week, actually. So it's best that I'm at home. The job that I have is still somewhat flexible. I'm still really not happy, like, employment-wise, but I'm hoping that by going to school, it'll give me access to do what I really want to do, because I'm telling y'all, having a bachelor's don't mean shit. It don't mean shit, especially when you're like in the social work, human services field. Like, you have to have your master's. And I've been going back and forth for like the past year, debating if I want to go to law school or if I want to get my master's. And ultimately, I just decided that I can do more. And my master, it'll be a Master of Science in Clinical Mental Health Counseling. Because the real ones know, when I was getting asked in high school what I wanted to do, I would always say I didn't know. I just wanted to help people, and that has not changed. But when you're a lawyer, I feel like, I don't know, that's another video too. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just, listen, I'm truly content with where I'm at in life right now, as far as like, I mean, there's still a lot of work that I have to do, and I'm nowhere even close to where I want to be. But I think for right now, with where I'm at in my life, I'm satisfied. Even though I don't love my job, it's okay. Like, I know that this is temporary. Where I'm at right now is temporary, and everything will happen on God's timing. And that's just that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking, but I haven't really said shit. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I think maybe what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I finish filming this video, I'm gonna film like a part 2 and give like the story time of Denver while I'm doing my hair. I ain't got no fucking where to go, but I want to be doing something while I'm talking to y'all. I'm in a really happy place well, I'm in a good place right now. I'm not happy, but I'm in a good place. And I'm so thankful that I have my parents and I have the village of people I have, because I seriously would not have been able to make it through without them. And I'm trying to take advantage of everything I can right now, because I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in my family. I'm just happy to be surrounded by my family right now. Like, I am content with where I'm at, for the time being, because I think with where I'm at in life, this is just right. So yeah, that's all. I don't even know. I'm just gonna put mascara on because it's part of the job. That eyebrow gel I just used, I realized I haven't been telling y'all shit. I did my eye makeup with this Juvia's Place palette, and then I used some, y'all can see, this is something I've had since high school, and y'all can see the only color I really use for real. So I used that, and then now I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty mascara. I'm not a mascara girl. As you can see, my lashes just don't exist, so I usually wear false lashes. But yeah, I don't know, y'all are gonna have to get, like, I need ideas as to what I should do, because I've been wanting to make a video for a really long time. And actually, I was gonna vlog my birthday this year, because my intention was to have a really big, loud, I'm not even gonna speak on my birthday. My birthday was supposed to be like lit, and it was like the biggest flop. I'm still very upset with how my birthday weekend went, so I don't really want to talk about that. But I wanted to vlog that whole experience, and I couldn't, just given the circumstances. And so now I've just kind of struggled, because when I make videos, I feel like I have to be doing something. And I'm living in my brother's old room, and it's orange, and it's not like aesthetically pleasing. And so I've had a really hard time, because I'm like, if I make a video, I feel like people are gonna be like, oh, what the fuck? I feel like I'm gonna be judged. I think I'm thinking too hard, but it is what it is. And finally, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna make a video. Because people keep asking me, and I keep saying, yeah, I'm coming back, but then I don't do nothing. So here's me coming back. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this. Hopefully I can upload it either today still or tomorrow. And then, like, maybe next weekend, or in the middle of the week. I don't know how frequently I want to make videos. I'll post my Denver story, because that shit is crazy, real crazy, and y'all are gonna eat that shit up. That's gonna be another long video, but y'all are truly gonna have to buckle up for that one, because nuts, absolutely nuts. There's a thing, when you don't have eyelashes for real, I'm pretty sure I've tried every mascara under the sun, and just like, they don't do anything for me. Like, you can obviously tell, like, look at that, I ain't got no lashes. And I've never been one to tightline my eyes, like put eyeliner down here, and it's never bothered me. But now I can really see why girls do that, because Oh, that's kind of bothering me. I don't think I have a pencil liner though. Oh, is this it? Here we go. Should I try and do this? I've never done this because my eyes are super, super watery. Also, this eyeliner fucking sucks. Yeah, that definitely makes a difference. I don't know, guys. My eyes are really watering though now. Just something simple, something cute. I know I have lashes, I just don't know where they're at. Fuck it, I'll put lashes on. I'll do it. Just give me a second.